Hello, this is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chilies, and welcome to our video series called Peppers 101. It is in this video series here on our YouTube channel that we hope to educate you and broaden your knowledge about chili peppers and peppers from all over the world. That's our vision, and our goal is to help you learn more so you can grow more and experience more flavors and more chilies and grow different kinds of chilies. And we hope that you will share with your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, and your family. Share the chili love. There's so many people that don't know anything but a bell or a jalapeno, and you can take them to new heights of foodie pleasure, because chilies have more different flavors than any other vegetable on the planet, more diversity than any other vegetable as well. So everything from sweet to super hots and all the peppers in between, there's so much to experience. Don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with people. You share a good movie, a good book, a good restaurant, share the chilies. Let people know about them. And we also want to ask you and encourage you to get your children involved in your chili growing. Not just your chili growing, but all kinds of gardening. Start a garden now. If you haven't started a garden, start a garden. Simple things like peas, beans, squash, plant some fruit trees, plant some berry bushes. You know, with inflation going higher now in 2024, it's a smart thing to grow some food. You start off small and then learn to grow more and more. And it will save you money every year. Plus, you'll be leaving a legacy to your children. And you and your family will be doing things together, like gardening, and then get everybody in the kitchen. Don't have everybody sit outside while you do the cooking or your wife does the cooking. Get your whole family involved in the cooking, the food preparation, food safety. There's so many things. So do it. Get in the garden and get in the kitchen with your family and your children. With that being said, the pepper we're looking at right now is the Peppapeach Stripey. Now, let's give you some background on this, okay? So here goes the history. Years ago in Wales, UK, United Kingdom, England, Great Britain, whatever you want to call it, Chris Fowler got a Sugar Rush peach. It came from the Sugar Rush Red. He did not create the Sugar Rush Red. A Sugar Rush Peach. It appeared in his grow. He didn't do any cross-pollination, didn't do any long-term selection. Within 2 years, around 2012, 2013, he started sharing the seeds with people. That was before he opened his own little seed shop. Now, also, later on, a few years later, he got the Peachadoo, which he named the Peachadoo. Then a few months later, he changed his mind and he called it the Peppapeach. P-E-P-P-A-A, peach. Okay? It also was something that came out of his grow. It could have been a result of accidental cross-pollination, whatever. But he didn't create anything. I want to make that clear. He didn't create anything. It just appeared in his grow. We live in an age right now where lots of people are claiming they created something. If you create something, that means you're doing cross-pollination between two varieties. You're doing selection for a number of years, growing it year after year, and then you can say you created something. If it happened in your grow, just say it happened in your grow. But so many people have big egos now and want to take credit, and Chris is one of them. But let's not dwell too much on that. So I kept selling the seeds and plants as Peachadoo. He kept selling his seeds as Peppapeach. I wasn't going to change the name after I had it up on my website for a few months. Please understand that. Now, Matt Layton, a grower here in the United States, later on, he got some Peachadoo seeds from me. Now, he didn't want to ruffle anyone's feathers, so when he had stripes appear in his grow, and the stripes appeared in his grow before they did anyone else. Even though Chris Fowler and others are trying to take credit for the stripes, they happened with Matt Layton's grow from my Peachadoo seeds. So Matt called it the Peppapeach Stripey. He shared seeds with his friend and well experienced grower Rich Blood of Atlanta, Georgia. And Rich Blood also grew and did selection. So the work of selection and getting more consistent striping on these peppers was done by Matt Layton and Rich Blood, who's also known as Pepper Guru. That is where the work is put in. So when somebody from the UK or someone else says it's from them, it's not from them. Let's just put it this way. If you grow something out, even if you created it, and a few years later something appears in someone else's grow, you don't get credit for that. You don't. Did the first Indian that found a jalapeno in the jungle, do we keep crediting him for every jalapeno we grow now? Every different type of jalapeno? No. So you can't be taking credit for something. But people are idiots, and that's what they do. They have egos, and they want, oh yeah, that's one of my peppers. No, it's not one of your peppers. Just because you grew the ancestor of it years ago doesn't mean you have anything to do with the genetics that happened later on. The stuff that happens with genetics and peppers is by God and nature, not by you or me or anyone else. Now, you can take credit for it appearing in your grow in the beginning, and you can take credit for selecting to maintain those traits and characteristics. That's fine. But if you weren't the person who first saw it, who got it in the grow, and did selection to get those characteristics, then you don't get credit for anything. So I'm sorry. So, going to give you guys the explanation on that, because I'm going to give credit for the people who have put the work in. Since I'm not a breeder, but I have had things appear in my grew, and then I have grown it for a couple of years after, like the death spiral and the yellow fever. Didn't put my name on it. Didn't secure any rights to it, trademark it. So I just want to tell you all that the only thing I can take credit for is it appeared in my grow and I did selection. I didn't breed it, didn't create it, didn't make it. But there are people trying to take credit for things nowadays. It's an ego thing. It's a way that they can sell seeds, and it's sad. It's sad. So the Peppapeach Stripey, or the Peachadoo Stripey, is a capsicum bacatum, and it will grow 6-8 feet tall. Right now, you can see the plants. They're vine-like. They're all over the place. I had to put a rope here to keep these capsicum bacatum varieties from flopping out of the net. It is now October 19th, 2024. And yes, these 3 sets of plants here are bacatums. That's why they're so big and bushy. Okay? So the Peppapeach Stripey, or Peachadoo Stripey, is a capsicum bacatum. So I recommend that you cage it, you use a bunch of stakes, you do something, because it's going to go all over the place. And it's going to just go all over the place. Now, the peppers will get peach colored first, like the Peachadoo or Peppapeach, as you can see here. And then the stripes will slowly appear. It takes a while for the stripes to appear, and you won't get stripes on all the peppers. You won't. You will not get stripes on all the peppers. It's not going to happen. So people have been selecting to get stripes off of this the last 3 years, and now it's 2024. So it's happening more and more. And you got to credit Rich Blood and Matt Layton and also Brian Townsend for doing that. Got to give them the credit for trying to develop the striping character traits. As you can see, these are just starting to get their stripes coming in. They take a while. Now, there's also the Sugar Rush Stripey, which appeared in another American's grow first. Then the seeds went back to the UK and Finland, and other people grew them out. Now, the Sugar Rush Stripey, we've already pulled the nets off of that. We'll go over to there really quick. Here's the Sugar Rush Stripey. We already pulled the nets off of these. last week. And you can see it gets peach colored first, and then it starts to develop stripes. Well, it's green, and then it gets peach. So I just wanted to show you that really quick. And I want you to keep in mind that this and the Peppapeach Stripey and the Zebrang or Zebrange, which is another off-type from the Ahi Fantasy group, which we believe is related to the Sugar Rush group, it takes a while for the stripes to come in. So if you have a very, very short growing season and you don't get plants started early, you may not even get stripes by the end of the season. Now the flavor on these is kind of a citrus fruity, not too heavy on the citrus, not too sweet on the fruitiness like the large sweet peppers. You know, the big, large sweet peppers like Lycia, Stocky Red Roaster, Sweet Apple, stuff like that. You're not going to get that degree of sugary sweetness like you would in the larger sweet Capsicum annuum types. You are going to have a sweetness and a fruitiness. You will not, the citrusy notes are going to be kind of mild, so you're not going to get that citric acid citrus taste, you know, like you would with lemons or limes. But it does have citrus flavor notes, okay? They're nice and thick walled, so after you pick them, they will last a while on your kitchen counter or in the fridge before you need to eat them, because they're thick walled. But again, I'm going to tell you, it will take a while for that pepper to go from that light green color to peach and then to get stripes. And you won't get stripes on every single pepper. There's some more down here. So the heat level is going to be, depending on growing conditions, close to a jalapeno or maybe a mild level of a jalapeno. It really depends on growing conditions, your watering, your environment, everything that's going to take effect, okay? But it's a beautiful pepper. It's a tasty pepper. And we will have seeds up on the website by probably beginning in November. You probably won't even see this video till after November 2024 anyway. But we wanted to give you the background on this. Now, again, Chris Fowler and others are taking credit for things that are happening way, way down the road. That they didn't do anything. Oh, that came from my pepper, so I get credit for it. I'm sorry. That doesn't work that way. So sorry, Chris. Sorry. Love you. Used to talk to you in the past a lot more often, but you've changed. You want to take credit for every darn thing that comes from a Sugar Rush peach or whatever. And you want to take credit, start doing crossbreeding and keep records, and then you can take credit. Put the work in. But if you just have things appear out of nowhere, it's from nature and God. It's not from you. And if it happens in someone else's grow 3 or 4 years later, you definitely can't take credit for that. So, just thought I'd throw those things in there, because Matt Layton and Rich Blood need to get credit for doing selection for a few years on these. They need to take the credit. And right now, I am growing peppers from both of their selections and selecting the best out of both of their seeds. So I grew from Matt Layton's seeds, and I grew from Rich Blood's selection seeds. And then I'm going to select the best for you, my customers. So this is the Peppapeach Stripey, and this is Jim Duffy Refining Fire Chiles. You all take care now.